Here we have the 2021 Chevrolet Traverse Hot Country. This one comes in satin steel metallic on loft brown perforated leather interior. This is going to be an all-wheel drive model, and it has a 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6 mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. As we come around to the front, you have your LED signature running lights as well as your LED headlamps, along with your fog lamps down there. Down here you have your 20-inch aluminum wheels. You have passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And the other controls for your power door locks, windows, mirrors, as well as memory seats. You have a Bose sound system. And there's your power driver seat with power lumbar support. We're gonna hop in the back seat here. So pretty good second row space for this to be a 3-row crossover. I'm 6'3" and I'm able to sit in the seat in front of me as well as the one back here. But down here you have a 120 volt 3-prong household plug-in. And then you also have rear AC automatic climate, as well as 3-stage heated seats for the captain chairs here. And you have 2 USB charging ports as well. And there is a view of the 3rd row. You have vents back here, and you have your hangers and vents in the 2nd row. You also have your LED dome lights as well. And there's that Skyscape sunroof, which we'll touch on a little bit later. Well, let's check out the rear end of the trunk space. So you have a dual exhaust as well as your LED tail lamps. And there's a space behind the 3rd row there. You can also power fold the 3rd row, the touch of a button, up and down. And there's your front passenger seat. That's power with power lumbar as well. I love this color on this Traverse. We're gonna check out what's under the hood here. And there's that 3.6 liter V6. It's pretty much covered there, but so we're gonna hop in the driver's seat. Go ahead and cut the vents down. And over here you have a heated leather wrap steering wheel. It feels really nice. And then over here, we have the navigation system. And then you have AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And you also have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And you can control the rear climate as well as the front climate from the screen, or you can use the buttons down here, and you're going to have heated and cooled seats with that as well. So for Apple CarPlay, you just plug that in. And there's your backup camera. There's your front camera. And then you have your different views along with that as well, including your curbside. And then your trailer hitch. And then down here you have your SD card reader, 2 USB ports, as well as your aux input. And that SD card reader is what your navigation is going to read off of. And then you have a wireless charging pad there. And there's your shifter. And you push the button back here, reverse, neutral, drive, low. And then you can also shift on the fly here. And then with this being an all-wheel drive high country, you have your 2-wheel drive mode, your all-wheel drive mode, and then you have your off-road mode as well as your trailering mode, so your tow haul mode. And then you can toggle your lane departure as well as your traction control. And pretty good space in the center console here. You have a removable tray. And just a nice square deep pocket. And then you have your universal home remote there, as well as a tilt and sliding power sunroof for the front. Then you have a stationary roof for the second row. And over here is your rear camera mirror, so you can toggle that on and off. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And I like how they put, it's kind of like suede-like material here. It feels really nice, and it really does mesh with the leather here. But there's your glove compartment with your owner's manuals. And over here, you have the controls for your adaptive cruise, as well as your gap adjust for that, as well as your forward collision alert. And then you can toggle your heated steering wheel here. On the right side of the steering wheel, you have your Bluetooth controls, and then you can go through your gauge cluster here. And then behind the steering wheel on the left side, you go through your track list radio stations. And behind the steering wheel on the right side, that's how you control your volume. And here you have your auto high beams here. There's your push button start. And finally, here's your key fob with remote start. So next is time we take this Traverse High Country out on the road for a quick test drive. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the vehicle into all-wheel drive mode just to test that out to begin with. So I can definitely tell how the vehicle's putting out more power to push all 4 of the wheels. Because the Traverses tend to be front wheel drive heavy, especially when you give them throttle like that. So I'm gonna put it back into 2-wheel drive mode now. the adaptive cruise on now at 75. And instantaneous fuel mileage is right around 24, 25 miles a gallon highway, which is what the window sticker says, so pretty accurate there. But a really nice ride coming down the interstate, and the steering wheel just feels so great. I love the size, and then I also love how it's heated because it really helps on a day like today. We're just gonna give it a little throttle here. So especially in two-wheel drive mode, you can really see how peppy the car is. And the 9-speed really does help with the shifts. It's very smooth. No hesitation with it. So the Traverse has definitely come a long way. And in this high country in particular, just a really smooth ride. And these seats feel fantastic. I love the interior look. I've always been a fan of the loft brown. But the suspension is very subtle, even going over these potholes. Everything isn't really bumpy. I can tell by each bump how harsh it's gonna be because the suspension adapts to it. So bigger bumps are gonna feel a little harsher, smaller ones are gonna not be as intrusive. And that's what you want out of a suspension. So yeah, this overall driving experience has been pretty good. And the steering wheel still feels great on my hand. And that's gonna bring us to an end of my review of the 2021 Chevrolet Traverse High Country.